Hello. This is Lady ReShell, author of Take Charge of Cancer and founder of Warriors Talk, where we empower individuals to take action that leads to a healthier lifestyle. This is a special edition of Warriors Talk, where we will be giving you the facts as it relates to breast cancer awareness. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and we know that things get crazy with everything pink ribbons, and people going out buying all types of pink things in support of breast cancer, right? So this month, for the next 31 days, Warriors Talk will be having a special at 8 p.m. every single night for the next 31 days, just to give you the facts as it relates to breast cancer. So tonight we're going to do some statistics. And then for the next 30 days, I will be doing different topics as it relates to breast cancer. So sometimes we think we know everything as it relates to breast cancer. And then as you dig a little deeper, things just come out. So when it comes to breast cancer, Nixon actually declared war on breast cancer 50 years ago, right? He said, okay, you know what? This cancer is getting out of hand. So we are going to declare war on cancer, and we're going to try to save lives and get this thing under control, find a cure. Who doesn't want a cure for cancer, right? So here we are 50 years later, and we do not have a cure. But what we have is some preventive measures that we can take and put in place for our lives so that we can make sure that if we do get a cancer diagnosis, that we will catch it in the early stages where it's treatable and where you can have the most successful outcome when it comes to cancer, right? So we never hear them push prevent, right? We always hear early detection. They do have some when it comes to colon cancer. You can go in and you can get the colonoscopy, and if they find polyps, they remove them. So that's preventing the cancer from coming. So certain ones do have it to where you can take action and you have a better outcome. So let's talk about some of the statistics as it relates to breast cancer awareness. And if you are listening live, please share the show. If you catch the replay, then just type replay in the comments. But I know that someone else needs this information, because 1 in 3 females will get some type of cancer in their lifetime, and 1 in 2 males. So we need to make sure that we are spreading the information. The only way that we're going to get the facts is if we get the facts ourselves and be kind and share with someone else. So right now, according to the American Cancer Society, there are 268,000 people in America who was diagnosed in 2019. That's a lot of people. When you think about it, just about everybody you talk to, they know someone who had been diagnosed with cancer or who passed away from cancer. We all know somebody. And literally up until my sister had it in 2010 when she passed from it, we had no family members that passed away from cancer or that had cancer. My mom had a cousin who passed away at the age of 91, and she had cancer, ended up getting one of her breasts removed. And, we never heard anything else about it after that. And I have an aunt on my father's side who also had a breast removed, and she's in her 60s. And that was it. We never heard anything else about cancer. So right now we know that when it comes to detecting cancer, mammograms is really our I don't want to say first line of defense, because you can do your own breast exams and you can find your own lump, but there may be an instance to where you're not able to feel it. It may not be in your breast. It could be in your armpit, in your lymph nodes. So that's why getting the mammogram is important. Now, the mammogram does not prevent cancer, but it does detect some type of, if it's abnormalities there or if it's a lump there, then it detects it so that the doctor can do a biopsy, do an ultrasound, and look further into what's going on with breast cancer, what's going on with your breast, to determine even if it is breast cancer. It may not be, it may just be a cyst. So tonight we're getting the facts. So according to statistic, breast cancer is the second most common cancer among women in the United States. Now, lung cancer is first with women and with men. So this lets you know that how often breast cancer is being diagnosed. If it's the second leading cause, that means so many people are being diagnosed, so many women and men, but a lot of women are being diagnosed with breast cancer, and men are being diagnosed with breast cancer, but not at an alarming rate like it is for women. So if we know that breast cancer for women is the second most common cancer, like every time a woman get diagnosed with cancer, most of the time it's breast cancer. So that should kind of alarm us to say, hey, what can I do to make sure that I'm taking every preventive measure that I can to make sure that I catch cancer early in its earliest stages so that I can have a better outcome when it comes to treatment. All right, so I'm gonna try not to let this video be really long. So the second one is women die from breast cancer at black women, I'm sorry, die of breast cancer at an alarming rate. So for some reason, our bodies it's not responding like it should to the treatments. You know, we should be having that good outcomes just like any other race, but for some reason we're not. And mainly one of the reasons could be because we're not in the clinical trials. We need to be in a clinical trial, so when they're doing testing the medicines, that they're testing it on us as well, so that when we have to take the medicines, that we make sure that it's going to work on us as well, right? So let's go to the next one. And it says the average risk of a woman in the United States that developed cancer in her lifetime is 13%, which is really 1 in 8. 1 in 8. And that's really high. Can somebody find my charger, please? And I'm doing a video. Please don't scream. So, excuse me. So really 1 in 8. So if you line up 8 women, if you line them up and you just, hand them all a number, and one of them gets the number 8 or whatever, and have them step forward, basically. So, 1 in 8 is still a really high number. With the men, is 1 in 1,000. 1 in 1,000 when it comes to men. So we want to make sure when it comes to breast cancer that we are getting the facts, right? We have to get the facts, because in order for us to protect ourselves, we have to know what is it that we have to do. So right now, according to statistics, there are, at this time right now, 3.8 million breast cancer survivors in the United States. That's a lot, though. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot. We have really come a long way when it comes to treatment of breast cancer. At one point, it was just a mastectomy. Just take the breast off. They really didn't have, and they're still doing that today, but women have more options today than to just get a mastectomy. And it's a personal choice. So you could get a lumpectomy. People are doing chemo, people are doing radiation. There's so many things that you could do besides just a radical mastectomy, right? Treatment is still kind of like the basis of the treatment, the chemo, the radiation, and the mastectomy. But now they have this for those who are diagnosed with triple negative cancer. It's a new medicine that was just approved that really responds to the triple negative, because it's an aggressive form of cancer, which is the one that I had. It's an aggressive form of cancer, and it's harder to treat. So what do? They give you everything. They give you chemo, they give you radiation, they give you surgery. So they have this new medicine that just came out. It just got approved. And so now this is what they're going to be using on it's for the early stages, like stage 1 and stage 2 for triple negative. They have seen that they have had the best outcomes with using it on those different stages. So when you think about how they diagnose breast cancer, so they'll take a biopsy and they are going to test it to see what grade it is, how big it is, and then they'll be able to determine, the stage of breast cancer. So um, I know some people, sometimes they'll tell you afterwards, but for the most part, they tell you before. So they told me before when they did the biopsy, they was able to tell me that it was a stage 2, grade B, 2.5, is it centimeters, or I think it's centimeters. And the grade B is because it was in my lymph nodes. Now, had it not been in my lymph nodes, it just would have been a stage 2, probably stage 2. So whenever it's not in the local, I think it is, if not in a local place like in the breast, if it spreads to like a regional area, then that's when they start giving you like the different grades. So a 2.5 centimeters. So if you look that up, you'll be able to see like what does that look like. So my whole point of doing Get the Facts for the next 31 days is so you can empower yourself with information so that you can make a good decision when it comes to your health. That's with eating, that's with exercising, that's with knowing your family history. That's what keeping up with your doctor's appointment. And I know I push this, I always say it, always, and I know y'all get tired of me saying it, but until you actually hear me and you apply it to your life and it becomes a lifestyle on how you live, is that's the only way you're going to have a peace of mind. Because right now, there are so many women dying from breast cancer, especially African American women, and it should not be. It really shouldn't be. There is 43,600 women dying from breast cancer, and it shouldn't be. We should be at this point in stage in America, in the US, there should be some type of cure, some type of better treatment that's not harsh on the body, where it's the treatment that really kills you. Because if you think about it, you putting toxins in your body, you putting the radiation is being on your skin. And when I did radiation, it burnt like the whole side of my skin, like just peeled off. Like, so when you think about that, and when you think about they having to even to cut on you, your body has to recover from all of that. It has to recover from all of that. And sometimes people never really, go back to the way that they were. They never really go back to the way that they were. So I'm encouraging you to get the facts and apply the facts. Don't just get the facts, but make sure that you are applying the facts to your life. There are So when a woman is diagnosed with breast cancer, there is a 1 in 39 chance that she will die from breast cancer. I don't know about you, but that's high. A 1 in 39 chance that she's going to die from breast cancer. So if you know anybody that's dealt with breast cancer, they may not have told you everything that they have went through, because it's just so much that you really don't even want to relive what you went through. And they probably don't even remember, because, I know I blocked a lot of stuff out when I was going through, when I was done. I blocked a lot of stuff out, some stuff you don't want to remember. So I am going to encourage you to come back for the next 30 days, right? For the next 30 days, we'll be talking about Get the Facts. And I have different topics that I'm going to cover as it relates to breast cancer awareness. The one thing that you need to know is do I have breast cancer in my family? Do I have a hereditary link? And I will tell you that 85% of women who get diagnosed with breast cancer do not have a hereditary link. They don't. So what does that tell you? It's something with lifestyle, the environment. There are a lot of women that are as underinsured. There are people who are in food deserts, so they're not eating right because they can't eat right because they don't have access to eat right. So there's so many different factors when you think about 85% of women are being diagnosed with breast cancer, and it's not a hereditary link. It's not something that's in your genes. So that's really something to think about. Something to think about where you can take the control into your hands and start just living healthy today. It's not a diet, but it's a lifestyle. Start changing the way you eat. Just simple. Start exercising. Just something just really simple. Just do 30 minutes of exercising. Get that heart rate up. It's so many things that we can do. Excuse me, but we make excuses not to do it. We make excuses on why we don't have time to exercise. We make excuses on why we don't have time to eat, but we go get our nails done. We go get our hair done. We get tracks glued in, sewed in. We wear the latest gym shoes. We got the latest purse, but you can't take that money and buy some food. You can't take that money and make sure that you're going to your doctor's appointments and paying that copay. I know the copay sometimes be $35, $50, depending on if you're seeing a specialist. Like, you can't take that money to make sure that you're putting good things in your temple. And this is your temple. So if you're feeding your bodies, the right things, if you're feeding it healthy things, if you're feeding your body the foods that fight cancer cells, that kill cancer cells, then you're building up your immune system. You're building yourself up. This is your first line of defense. So if something happens, if you do get a cancer diagnosis, it's not going to you're not going to struggle as much as somebody else. I know I didn't struggle as much as a lot of women struggle. And I just thank God for that, because I know that he preserved me, he shielded me, and he restored me. So for that, I am grateful. So come back tomorrow night for Warriors Talk special edition of Get the Facts in recognition of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So for the next 31 days, I will be talking about different breast cancer facts. Some you may know, some you may not know. But it's good to get that knowledge for yourself and also to pass on to someone else. So again, if you're watching this and you're not watching it live, just be kind and rewind. I know that this is not, a popular subject that people like to hear. We're not talking about relationships. We're not talking about, so-and-so got into a fight, but we're talking about your life. We're talking about saving your life. And the only one who has the power to do that is you, and is what you put in your body and how you're taking care of your body. And the choices that you're making on a daily basis is going to tell the difference. Your body just doesn't get unhealthy from one day of eating. No, it's usually years and years of you putting bad stuff in your body before you even see the outcome of it. So you have a chance right now to make some choices, to take action that leads to a healthier lifestyle. So again, thank you for tuning in. This is Lady ReShell, and I am the author of Take Charge of Cancer and the founder of Warriors Talk, where we empower individuals to take actions that leads to a healthier lifestyle. See you tomorrow.